Hi guys, today I'm going to be reviewing a new foundation from Covergirl. It is the Covergirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk. So it says it is a nourishing foundation with coconut milk and aloe extract. Really excited to test this out because I've been loving more medium, natural finish foundations, so this sounds right up my alley. As always, I will have timestamps down below if you'd like to skip ahead to before and after, flash photo test, how it looks in natural light, or how it looks at the end of the day. And I will have a blog post linked down below, swatching this next to some other kind of more popular CoverGirl foundations in case you would like to shade match yourself, along with the shades that I am in other foundations will be listed down below, and a playlist of all of my other CoverGirl foundation reviews. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and get started. So this just launched pretty recently. Here in Canada on the Shoppers Drug Mart website, it retails for $10.99. As I'm filming this, it's on sale for $8.99, which is an amazing deal. And on the Ulta website for Americans, it's retailing for $11.99. So I think that that's a good price. Drugstore makeup is really creeping up there. CoverGirl, I feel like, has stayed pretty true to their more original pricing, especially these foundation products that they bring out in the tube. I don't know if it's because it's like cheaper packaging or whatever, but I actually really like the packaging. It's compact, you can see right through, there's no kind of like faux shade, and especially at the drugstore, makes it a lot easier to pick out your shade. I'm going to be wearing the shade 600 Rich today. I feel like this is a good shade match for me. It's not too yellow, not too pink, it's a little bit more neutral, which I have been tending to lean towards in my foundations. Just that's become a more personal preference of mine, and I feel like I wore such yellow foundations for a long time there, and now that I'm wearing more like golden peach, as I like to call it, or slightly more neutral, it tends to be a better match. This does come in 14 different shades, which is not a huge shade range, but because it is, you know, it's a foundation, but it's also like a skin milk, I'm actually kind of surprised they called it a foundation, but maybe it's just to make it more approachable to like somebody walking down like the aisle of a drugstore. But I do feel like because it's a little bit lighter coverage, it is going to be a little bit more forgiving in terms of being able to fit more people under one shade. Because if it's something super full coverage, you want to have that good match. But if your skin is more naturally showing through, then it's a little bit more forgiving. I'd always love to see more shades, but I think that that makes a little bit more sense. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my face. I took about this much out. I think it's important to see like how much I'm actually putting on my face because that can make a difference in terms of coverage. And as I always say, and I know I'm like beating a dead horse on this, but a couple of things actually that I always say in these reviews, just in case you're new, but using a sponge is going to give you less coverage. And also, if you do buy a product like this, don't buy it with the intent of like putting a ton on your face and making it full coverage. Just buy like their matte made or something that's going to give you more coverage, because especially if you do have an oilier skin type, it's just going to get heavy and cakey on your face and slide off faster. If you have oily skin and you're wearing something lighter coverage, do not build it up, because lighter coverage products tend to be a little bit more on the dewy side. Like this on it says dewy finish. It also says it's vegan as well, but it is going to give you less coverage, and the more you put on your face, the more likely it is to kind of slip around. It says that it blurs imperfections, evens out skin tone, sheer buildable coverage, and instant all-day hydration. So I'm just going to put that amount on this half of my face. So it says like it's a sheer coverage, but sheer but buildable, which I would agree. It also says that it's vegan, formulated without talc, parabens, formaldehyde, phthalates, mineral oil, and fragrance. You can see that built nicely. You can still see some of my like acne scars coming through, but bonus, you can see my freckles coming through, and it looks really natural. It has like a sheen, but not super greasy. So let's go ahead and cover this side. You're also getting a full fluid ounce in there. Let's try it with my fingers. I feel like this could be a good fingers product. I personally don't like applying foundations with my fingers, even if they look good that way. Just, I don't know, I don't mind wetting a sponge. I don't know why I don't like fingers that much. But this does apply nicely. And as I've said before, if you do have like acne or scarring or something that you'd like to cover up, but you want to wear a lighter coverage product, just build it up on the areas that you need it, and then the rest of your skin will look super light and fresh, making your whole face look lighter and fresher, as opposed to putting something super full coverage all over your face, because you probably just have particular areas you're looking for more coverage, or use a lighter product, then go in and spot conceal after the fact. I don't spot conceal before anymore because you can end up putting too much. So I really like the way that this looks. This is not a first impression. I have been wearing this ever since I received it a little while back, and I think it gives a really beautiful natural finish, nice coverage, not a ton of coverage, but it doesn't claim to have a lot of coverage, and I like that. I like that we're getting more variety and finishes and coverage at the drugstore. Everything was like very one way for a long time, and now we're starting to see some variety, which I think is great because I love variety. I love makeup. I just want to have everything all the time. So yeah, I really like the way that this looks. I'm gonna go ahead and take some flash photos, and then I'm actually gonna put on the cream blush that launched with this line, so I will be right back. So this line also contains a cream blush. This is the Clean Fresh Cream Blush in the shade Butterflies. This is like a beautiful kind of like burgundy with a little metallic, which would never really be something I would go for, but it's actually very, very pretty. But unfortunately, from what I can tell, the cream blush and the lip oils that launched with this collection are limited edition, which is definitely a bummer. They may just be kind of like testing the waters, but I was talking about this recently in a video, but I'm kind of over limited edition products because what if you fall in love, you know? But Maybelline did just launch their own cream blushes, which I believe to be permanent, and Rimmel has a lip oil that I feel like is very similar to this one. At least there's options. I really like this cream blush. I think if you use a sponge, you can get a really nice light application. You can use your fingers. This is some kind of like e.l.f. 105 brush. This will help you keep some of the coverage, and it's shimmery, but like not a bunch of glitter or anything, or not even really any shimmer. It just kind of has this metallic look to it, and it's an interesting color. I don't really have a cream blush this shade, and I don't feel like it's hard to work with either. Like, I try to work quickly with any cream products, but it doesn't like set immediately on your cheeks, and I kind of put a lot on today. The first time I used it, I went really lightly. Just depends. But cream products are nothing to be scared of, honestly. I was really intimidated by them for a long time because I feel like the way I saw people using them on YouTube and Instagram, I was like, whoa, that's very intense, but they can really give a beautifully natural look. So yeah, I think it looks really pretty. It doesn't pick up as much on camera, I feel like, so I don't want to overdo it just for the camera, but it does look really nice and fresh and gives me a little bit of glow. And the rest of my face, I wouldn't say it's completely set down. I'm going to powder my face either way. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back. Okay, so I am back. Everything that I'm wearing, as always, on my face will be listed down below. I did just film a little tutorial testing out the new NYX Sabrina collection, so that will also be listed down below for the eyes and cheek stuff. But yeah, I think things look really good. I did remove my NYX lipstick to put on the lip oil from Covergirl. I think it's really, really pretty. I feel like it takes a little bit to build up. Like, you don't get a lot on the wand, but it has a pretty look to it. And it smells absolutely delicious. But as for the photos, I thought it looked really, really gorgeous. When I took a photo right here, it looks really fresh and bright. There's a bit of a sheen to my skin. In the flash photos, there's no listed SPF on here, and I didn't notice any major flashback. It looks a little bit shiny because of the flash, of course, and my body tends to look a little bit warmer, especially when I have no bronzer or concealer or anything like that on, but I thought it performed pretty well for both. And yeah, I think it looks really good up close on the skin. It looks incredibly natural. I like the shade match. I feel like if you're looking for a little bit more coverage, like I said, you can spot conceal or add a powder foundation to set your face to really kind of lock things in place depending on your skin type and the kind of look that you're going for. As always, a mattifying primer, setting your primer, a matte setting spray, these will all come in handy if you do have an oilier skin type, along with not actually putting too much of the foundation itself on your face. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave you, and I will check back with you. It was awkward. I'm gonna go ahead about the rest of my day. That's what I normally say. And then I will check back with you in some natural light in a couple of hours. Coming to you with my midday check-in. Sorry if you can hear the dishwasher, but chores gotta get done. I think you can see that things look really nice. Nothing has oxidized. It's a good color match for me. I don't feel like I need to touch up. I haven't had like a very active day. I've just been doing a lot of emails and kind of tidying up around the house, and now I'm actually about to head out to a meeting, so I'm not going to touch up. I'm just going to put on another lip. I did remove my lip right after I started filming, so I can't really speak to the wear time of that. I don't think it would have like crazy long wear time just because it is a lip oil, but I was filming something else and wanted to switch it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to my meeting. I don't know why I'm struggling like going from clip to clip today. And then I will check back with you at the end of the night. So I'm coming to you at the end of the day. I think things look really good. I'm definitely a little bit shinier than I was, which is to be expected. My skin is kind of combo at the moment, and this does claim to be a dewier foundation. It's NIMS alarms going off, but I don't expect it to stay super matte. That's not really what the claim is, but it does say that it's long wearing. And I do feel like, although I do have some shininess to my skin, it's not like overly shiny. Maybe I'll just blot. It's not overly shiny or uncomfortable or slipping around. It's kind of just like the end of my day, and I do feel like I want to take my makeup off, but I do feel like if I blot and powder, it would still look good. I think you can definitely see that my blush, bronzer, highlight has all stayed in place really well. And as I mentioned, if you do have an oilier skin type and you do want to try this, I would take the precaution of your mattifying powder primer along with a setting spray, and perhaps setting it with a powder foundation that you know to be long wearing on your skin. If you do have a drier skin type, I think you may like this, and normal to combo, again, I think you would like this as well. To compare it to some of the other CoverGirl foundations out there, the Matte Made is obviously going to be more matte. It has a better shade range. The Outlast Active that I tried more recently, that has a really kind of creamy natural finish, but with more coverage. That has SPF. And then I haven't worn the Clean Matte BB or the Ready Set Gorgeous in a while. I'm pretty sure the Matte BB still exists, so that may be a better option if you do have an oilier skin type and you're looking for something more light coverage. And I think they got rid of the Ready Set Gorgeous, and I'm pretty sure they got rid of or are getting rid of the Healthy Skin, which I actually really liked that, but I think that has been phased out. So yeah, I do actually really like this. I think it's a great light coverage product from the drugstore, and I know there's a lot of like kind of more natural and radiant and lighter coverage things happening at the drugstore, which I'm really happy to see some variety. I think to compare to those other foundations and what offerings more generally, I think that this is definitely on the lighter coverage side to compare, but I have reviewed a lot of them, so I can't individually compare everyone that you may be curious about. So you can be feel free to check out my other reviews on some of the other drugstore foundations that have launched recently. But yeah, this is definitely on the lighter coverage side. So overall, I definitely do like this. I think that if you're in the market for something lighter coverage and affordable, this could be a great option for you. And let me know if you have tried it yourself, as always, and be sure to stay tuned. I am going to be reviewing the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer coming up soon, along with the, what was the other new foundation that just came out? Oh, the Bite Beauty one, that's coming as well. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.